What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Discovering Nicole, where we talk about all things me and discovering my life. I have some news I want to share with you guys, but first and foremost, what's up? I love you guys. Thank you for everybody that has stuck with me through this change. Today we will be talking about addiction and drugs. We're talking about methamphetamine and how long the high from methamphetamine lasts. So if you've never had experience with methamphetamine and you're wondering, or you just want to hear some of my crazy story times, honey, go get you some sweet tea, some popcorn, maybe even a brownie, and hang out with me for about 5-10 minutes because I'm going to tell y'all some stories. So, first of all, I have 6.5 years sober. That's my first announcement because today's the 13th. July 13th is my sobriety birthday. Next, some sad news. Our dog got ran over. Our dog Onyx got ran over the night before last. He was with my son and my husband, and he's such a good dog, you guys, that honestly we never have him on a leash because he stays with us. Well, the one time we should have had him on a leash, he got out away from us, and honestly, I'm so upset about it. I'm mad because we should have had him on a leash. So anyways, he got hit by a car and he didn't make it. I've known my husband for 10 years and he's had that dog the whole time I've known him. And he got the dog like 4 or 5 years before I ever came around. So it's kind of sad. Next announcement, tomorrow we're going to have a special guest speaker on. Her sister died of a drug overdose and she's also in recovery, so be on the lookout for that. That'll happen at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow for a live. And let's get into it. How long does methamphetamine high last? So this is one of the main reasons why I was addicted to meth, was because in my little addict brain, I was getting more bang for my buck. I was getting more bang for my buck, and so that's why I kind of got tired of doing cocaine, because I could get high for just a few minutes, maybe even seconds, and then it was gone and I'd have to do more. With methamphetamine, I could do, one line and be up for 3 days. 3 days off of one line. If you're a person who just smokes continuously during the day, smoking it, you could be up for a week. If you're shooting it, you could be up for longer than a week. It is so powerful. Methamphetamine is so powerful, it's like 2,000 times powerful than an orgasm, okay? Like, it is no joke. So there was days that I would, inject methamphetamine and I would be up for a week. And a lot of people say, Nicole, you were not up for a week. Yes, I was. Why would I lie about that shit? It was not fun. And that's the thing, when you're in that trance and you're high on meth, like, you're not aware of anything else that's going on except for you're in that headspace of being high on meth. Like, I can't explain it to you guys because it's not something that's like super enjoyable, being up all night without sleep. Now, there can be good parts about it, but most of the time you're just like losing your shit. Most of the time you're hallucinating that there's something that's not there. You're arguing. It's not fun. Let me tell you about one of the times that I stayed up the longest and ask you guys what you think. So it was 2011. I hadn't met my husband yet, and I had been shooting meth, shooting oxys, and doing Xanax. And I was over at my friend Tara's house. When I went over to Tara's house, I had already been up for a good 3 days, okay? So I got over to her house, and I immediately went to her house looking for drugs to shoot up. And I was hallucinating that there was little blue Roxy pills all over her floor. You guys, there was no blue Roxy pills on that bitch's floor. I was seeing shit, okay? When I tell you I shot up whatever crap was on that floor, it was probably trash. And I spiked a fever so high, I'm surprised I didn't have brain damage from this shit. I walked out the front door and I ended up getting pulled over while I was walking because the neighbor called the police on me. Once I walked out the door, the neighbor had her eyes on me and she was watching me go back and forth, kind of zigzagging between her house and my house. That's when she called the police. The police got there and they're like, "Are you okay?" I couldn't talk. I was like talking like I was in another land. And so they called an ambulance, and the ambulance came and got me. I was picked up by an ambulance twice in this span of time. So I went into the ambulance with them that once, left their AMA in the middle of the night, and went walking down Markham Avenue, called my sponsor. My sponsor came and got me, got my vehicle, parked it at her house, and told me to go to sleep. Honey, that next morning, I might have had a cat nap like this. I woke up and I went back into my car, back over to my friend's house, at this time Gerald's, and started getting high. When I was with him is where shit went sour, because I asked him for a fucking Seroquel, dude. And once he gave me that Seroquel, it put me out, and I took off walking. It was like 3 a.m. Long story short, you guys, I wound up in the ER in a coma for 7 days because of all the drugs that I had been pumping into my veins, methamphetamine, all the days I had been awake without nothing to drink, nothing to eat. My internal organs were shutting down. And I tell this story so much, but I need y'all to understand that the fucking nurses had to call my parents because they didn't know if I was gonna make it. So my mom and dad had to come and sit to be with me. So thankfully I woke up and 7 days later. I tell you guys this story to tell you this. Yeah, that meth high lasts. It's a long time. But baby, let me just tell you, it's not worth going through all the crap that I went through for that high. That high is temporary. Death is forever.